Hey guys, in this week's tip, we're going to continue with our series of taking a look at some of the new features in SMS version 3.4. On tap this week, it's called Increase Quantity on Scan, and it's a nifty little tool to display differently multi-quantity items on the screen and on the receipt. Best of all, this one is super duper easy, so we'll show you what it does, then I'll show you step by step how to set it up. It's a pretty cool little tool, so let's hop on over and take a look. Alright, so first things first. I'm in SMS POS and I'm going to show you what we normally do and what you've seen on the 50 some odd videos that we've done to date. If I scan in an item, you're used to seeing it show up on the cashier screen in the order that it's scanned. So I'm going to go ahead and scan that item again. Now I got two lines here, same item, two lines, and if I scan it a third time, same thing. It's just going to scroll and scroll and scroll. So I scanned this item 3 times, and because I scanned it, it lists line 1, line 2, line 3. All on separate lines. Same thing happens on the receipt if I tender this puppy out. Let me drag it over here so you can see it. You see I scanned one item, I scan the same item again, and then I scan the same item a third time, and it's listing those items on 3 individual lines. Now the cool thing about this tip is we're going to clean up this receipt and we're going to clean up this screen. So with the magic of TV, I'm going to do a little morph here and I'm going to show you what happens. Then I'll show you how to set it up. So we need to cue some of that groovy 70s morphing music and show you what happens with this nifty tip installed. Let me scan my original item. Now we're going to treat this transaction just like a regular basket coming down the lane. The items are all going to be stacked up on the belt and nobody knows what order they're coming in. So I've got 3 items. They're just scan, 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 scan. Nobody knows the order. I'm going to go back to my original item. I'm going to scan it and whoa! Look at that. It's adding the quantity back to the original item where it was originally in the transaction. If I scan it a third time, watch that. It's adding that 3 to the quantity back in the original placement of that item. That's showing here on the cashier screen. It would also show on the customer screen. And then when I tender this baby out, guess what? It's also going to show on the receipt the exact same way. So it's organizing all the similar items and just setting up the quantities one line at a time. That's a pretty neat little tool, so let's hop over into Pro and I'll show you how to set this baby up. Alright, we're over in SMS Pro, and as promised, this tip is real simple to implement. Now, all we have to do is add a simple little parameter line to a function in SMS. Which function, you ask? Well, what function do we use whenever we scan an item in the transaction or input the item in manually? Heck, you guys know this. It's easy. It's the PLU function. So we're going to come up to the system menu. We're going to look for functions. There's a ton of ways. You can use the little handy dandy magnifying glass here and look up PLU. It's going to default to description. Or if you know that it's function code 710, which is right here, just find it. Go to the PLU function, put your cursor there, expand it with this little toggle detail view right here, and it's going to pop up that function of the PLU. Alright, so here's my disclaimer. If you've never seen this screen before, don't screw up a perfectly good working system. Give your reseller partner a call and they can hook you up. All we need to do is put in this parameter into the parameter box for the PLU function. It's goTo exist equals to. No spaces, no nothing. You deploy that and everything will be hunky-dory. Every time an item is scanned, the same item is scanned in a transaction, it will add the quantity back to the original scan. Now, in case you're wondering, if you have multiple parameters, all you do is separate those by a space. So again, if you've never seen this screen, give your reseller partner a call and they can hook you up. But overall, this is a pretty neat little tool that is now available to you. Well, that's it for this week's tip. I told you it was short and sweet, but hopefully we've given you a few ideas for you to utilize within your own store environment. Until next time, have a great day.